Alright guys, I just want to take a few minutes and talk about shotgun reloading. I do a bit of it, I don't do a whole lot, mainly because I don't shoot a whole lot of shotgun, but I decided to order some stuff and try a few different hauls. Now, with the new AA hauls that are coming out now, they're all two-piece hauls, and all the ones that I have, they're getting pretty old and rugged. I've pretty much gone through them, and every one that's loaded now is going to be a last firing type deal. So I'll just be throwing them away as I fire them because they're all cracked. So I ran a few experiments with some other common hauls because I really don't feel like going and buying a bunch more. Now, the most common one around will be these Challenger First Class right here. They're just a cheapo haul. I don't know if the hauls are actually made here in Canada or if they're just if they're made overseas and stamped. Either way, in a lot of ways it's similar to the Fiatchi hauls and stuff like that. They're quite thin. They're a two-piece haul. It's not real brass. Get back on camera here. It's not real brass. It's just brass plated, which is still better than the regular stuff. These are the best ones I've found so far. They give me a good crimp. But I want to talk about some other ones. So I roll crimp as well, and the Winchester slug hauls, the Super X, they're pretty good. I got some. What is this? Okay, this is one of my triple-aught buck Remington Express mag hauls that I've just cut the crimp off of, and I can roll crimp that. Paper, of course. I got some old Imperial paper ones here. I'm saving these in case I want to make some black powder loads. Anyone who's ever loaded any amount of black powder will know that black powder will eat through the plastic hulls in no time. So, save those. There's another haul here. These are the other Imperial hauls, the new ones. They're made by Challenger as well. Trying to get that to focus. And it doesn't matter. It's a Challenger head stamp anyway. Imperial High Velocity. These aren't too bad. They're pretty good. They're as good as anything else on the market as far as I'm concerned. The only issue I had with these is these are the first ones that I did, and I didn't get the best crimp on them. I got a little too much in there. The column's too high. So once I shoot those, I'll play with the column a little bit. I had the same trouble with the light blue ones when I started, but I fired these a few times, and in these shot shells I've been loading BB shot. I've been doing a bit of rabbit hunting lately, and it's in a really heavy area, so I'm shooting through a lot of brush, and I like the big shot. Sometimes you only get one or two BBs getting to the animal, so bigger the better. So there's a few of these around. These are the Dominion buckshot, double-aught buck, roll crimp. Pretty standard stuff. That looks like a BPI or whatever wad. These, I believe, are loaded in Russia. It says Russia on the box. And they're from Canada Ammo. They're pretty cheap. Lead ball, low recoil. This is the slug one. It says I don't know. It gives you the loadout on it. But it's 27.5 gram slug. The powder is something I've never heard of before. And gives you the weight of the powder. So, what is that? 17 grams? I don't know. It's not making much sense. But anyways, where does it say? Discotech Industries Limited, exclusive representative in Canada. Here we go. Here's the Russian stuff. So there's some Cyrillics down here. I assume that stuff all comes from Russia. I don't know for sure. Anyways, 1 ounce lead balls. They say they're low recoil. I haven't found them too accurate. I did a little shoot a couple days ago. It was pretty windy, and I wasn't getting very much horizontal spread. A lot of vertical spread. I think there's a pretty big deviations in the powder charge. I think they could have done a lot better on that. This is very similar to the slugs that I load myself. I'm loading 690 round ball, and I get much better groups than that. I get about a 6-inch group. The other one, the other Dominion one, the Buckshot, the hulls look very similar. Pretty sure they're the same hull, same head stamp, same type plastic. After these are fired, they look identical. In fact, these two are both, one's a Buckshot and one's a slug hull. Now, what I found with these aren't very good at all, because they load fine the first time. This is after a single firing. So this is a once fired hull that was reloaded. You notice the little stress marks here. The walls of these seem to compress, and you get a decent crimp on the first one. On the second firing, you get more compression, and then you can't get a good crimp because your hull is shorter now because of the compression at the base, and that makes your wad column, shot column, everything too high to get a good crimp. And third time around, it's pretty ugly. So I won't be reloading any of these more than once. When I take these things out and shoot them, I will bring them home, and I'll get one load out of them. Both of these, this one, the slug more so than the other, because if you look at the slug, it's more like the tactical Buckshot tactical slugs that the military uses. They're shorter. That's just because they didn't put any spacers to build the column. This one's really bad. This one's pretty bad. If you look at these, you can see there's a little bit of a dip in here, but it's not a real big issue. You can still see the wad through that, no problem. With these ones, especially this one, the inside of the case seems to be a lot rougher and very difficult to see the wad. About, I'd say, 25% of them, I couldn't get the wad in, and the wad would roll up, and it's just a waste. I have to cut it apart and start over. So you can reload these once. I used a 6-point star crimp. I tried the other one, whatever the Lee makes, 8-point, something like that. Anyway, it didn't work. The 6 points crimp good, the other one's not so much. The Federal hulls, this is Federal Premium Steel number 2 shot. This is the other load, factory load that I use for rabbit hunting. When the cases come out in one piece, you can reload them. See, this one's got a little crack there, but that'll still reload. 75% of these, when they come out of my gun, the crimps, half the crimp is gone. Now that's out of my single shot New England. That's out of my YL12. That's the Isetta 37 clone from Canada Ammo. And my friend's Beretta, same thing, cleans the half the crimp off. So when I do get a good one of these will reload once, maybe twice, and then the crimp busts off. They're good. The one that these need some more testing. Double A's if you can find them, of course. There's a Super Handicap I picked up at the range. Still in good shape. So those are always good. Here's one of those Federals I was just talking about. First time reload. Pretty good crimp. Could be a little bit better, but it's pretty good crimp. That's those. Talked about the slugs. These blue ones. The only issue I have with these is I can't get a very good powder height. So you can see this one has got a nice crimp. This one here could use just a little more crimp. And these two here, the crimp is quite deep on them. So I'm not going to tell you what I'm using for load data, but the bushing I'm using to throw this one is 1 1/4 ounces. This one is 1 1/8 ounces. And this one that actually gave me a really good crimp is 1 1/4 ounces minus 3 BBs. So I gotta take these out and do a little more testing, see which one of these is better. What I'll probably end up doing is either taking the one that almost crimps and drop back one bushing on the powder and see if I get a good crimp and good accuracy, or take these ones here and just add a little more powder. I can go a little further with the load I'm using. So, and these hulls, all of these hulls here, with the exception of these two, these ones with the deep crimps and a bunch more I've reloaded these 3 or 4 times already, and they're still clean. They make a good seal. No splitting yet. So I like these, and there's tons of them at the range, so I think I'll start using those. The only issue I have is with my AA hulls that I've been loading are a one-piece injection hull, so the wad doesn't fit tight in here. You see this white line here and here. What I had to do is put in 12 gauge overshot cards. These are just stamped out of a milk jug. I think I got another video showing how to use that punch. Put that over the powder and then seat the wad, and that stops the powder migration. Look at some of these other ones. Here's another one. You can see powder's working its way up the hull. But these ones I'm going to cut apart and reload them. So, but that's that. I just wanted to go over that. So if anyone is trying to find hulls, Challenger, I think is the way to go. I'm not saying they're as good as Winchester or anything else. I'm just saying that they're working for me. They're a nice, little accurate load. They give a nice crimp, and so far they've lasted quite well. So when I get one to fail, I'll make another video and let you guys know how many loads I'm getting through them. And that's all for this one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please subscribe. See you next time.